Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Apart from practicing with my peers, who are the 6 people who got shortlisted, I also try to practice with folks who are currently in the industry. So I did a couple of interviews with consultants in McKinsey, consultants in BAIN. I also had my buddy from BCG with whom I did a couple of cases. So that really gave me the right feedback.
Even before checking the course contents of an MBA program, students often glance through what sort of companies come on campus to pick them up. Imagine a B school that, in its very first year of existence, brings in heavyweights in the industry like BCG, McKinsey, Softbank JV, etc. on campus for the final placements. Something that only top B schools and IIMs have managed to do in all these years. Well, we have 2 such final year students from a B school with a fresh new perspective at MBA education in India, Masters Union. Welcome Varun and Dipti in this conversation, and congratulations once again on your SoftBank and BCG converts.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You are a chartered accountant and you have had work experience as well with a startup like Udan. A lot of people might not have heard of. How did you take this decision to go for this MBA?
So prior to when I was doing my started accountancy or CFA at that point of time, I was sure in fact that I will not be doing MBA for sure for a good time period. And then when I was joining Udan, that time there was a different perspective at that point of time, because I actually feel that the next 20 years or 15 years is all for the startup ecosystem who's creating a good disruption in entire industries. So when I was joining Udan, I had offers from Goldman and JP Morgan at that point of time, but I chose Udan because of my startup instinct, because of my passion. After 2 years of working in Udan, and because as you were also mentioning about the pandemic, about that particular time period, that time I decided to do something new. I was also, let's say that time I was searching through Upgrad to do some courses, Coursera, some or the other specific courses. And at that point of time, one of my friends referred to Masters Union. And trust me, it was very new. It was very, let's say, dream come true for me to join such an organization if they are giving such big names, which that they were telling that at that point of time.
I'm an engineer by education, and I have an experience of close to 5 years with a data analytics firm. So throughout my 5 years, I've worked rigorously around data and data modeling and using analytics to solve business problems. And I always had MBA on my horizon, unlike Varun. I wanted to pursue an MBA because I believe that will really help me understand the business angle of things, and will allow me to move towards using my data background and create actual business impact by understanding how businesses actually function. So MBA was always on my horizon. I was really awestruck by the kind of people that were getting associated with the college. Folks like Mr. Mukund Rajan and people like Mr. Narendra Jadhav, who's the chief economics of the country. I think the names like these really made it very worthy for me to understand more about the course. And also the fact that it was a technology business management. Given my background in data analytics, and I believe that technology and data are here to stay and are here to really help businesses function. So I think the masters and the technology based business management really did the works for me. So that was a key reason why I decided to try this university.
Before you got in, did you do your research as to who are the people who are going to teach you in that front, and were you happy seeing that these are industry stalwarts that are there?
Yes, although this was the first year, and there was very limited, content that you could go through and research about about a college. Like we did not have anyone that we could speak to who was already experienced the course. But I think what me and a couple of other folks who joined this course ended up doing was, we tried reaching out through LinkedIn to a couple of these masters and understand what is their ideology behind being associated with a program like this. And we were also, checking out the website. We were also talking to a lot of admin folks who really gave us confidence in in the design of the program, in understanding how will the masters teach us and what is the curriculum like, and how will the in-house faculty really come in.
Varun, for you, you had a deep-rooted interest in finance before you even joined this course. So apart from finance, did you pick up any other skills in these 2 years?
MBA is altogether a different ball game where you actually get to learn about networking, or let's say how can you leverage your current skills with the diverse set of skills which you are mentioning. Let's say marketing, let's say even smallest of things are like decision making, people decision making in HR, or let's say leadership qualities to manage a team, to work in a team, or simply the work like arts of communication. How can you communicate your thoughts process effectively? That is altogether an MBA or an MBA graduate should aspire to, along with their special niche skill set. That is what I actually have been learning in our Masters Union, and I'm trying to learn it as much as I can do.
How has been the shift in learning from MU that made sure the experience of the B school is not hampered in any way?
When we heard about this college for the first time, we were also of the opinion that when it's going to be started, is it going to be physical or online, or will the mentors will be taking classes virtually or physically? Because whatever the experience was, it will be effective when it is live, right? But I trust you me, when we were talking to the admin team at that point of time, they told us that the batch size is right now down to 70, where guys can come up, sit in the physical classrooms with the provision of social distancing norms according to the government guidelines. That was a very good step which they took, so that because eventually when we were in the class, that made sense. When the professors were there, where every one of us were together, following the norms, but also learning with each other, peer-to-peer learning. That was a great start for Masters Union as compared to the other colleges at that point of time.
Dipti, I'll move to you. You were handling something which a lot of MBA students die to be part of, which is being member of the student placement committee. What are the kind of people that you took help from, and how did you build that process out?
We had a placement team of six folks, six students who created the student placement committee. So I think the first few months went in setting up the processes, creating the collaterals to really tell the corporate world as to what did Masters Union stand for. And we focused more on getting corporate leaders into the college and just understand our program. Instead of focusing too much on getting them to get us internships or for final placements, we focused more on getting these CXOs into the college and just talking to the students. So we arranged something called the corporate knowledge sessions. So these were every Wednesdays and Fridays that we wanted to arrange, wherein we got folks from the industry, from various industries, who could just come in, talk to the students. They also get to experience the class. At the same time, the class also gets to experience the industry and the person. We took up conversations like internships or identifying if there are any opportunities for a collaboration. Though what we also realize is that a lot of big names in the corporate world do take a lot of time to empanel with a new institution. And that's where, our promoters and the management really stepped in, because those are the places where they could really help us in getting the required contacts. Though the student placement team focused more on establishing connects and creating a network of these CXOs and getting live projects. I think that was our key responsibility as the student placement committee. And then, when it came to internships and final placements, the management as well as the master cohort did step in and, helped us getting the right contacts in place.
Varun, take us through that process of how Softbank happened for you.
So Softbank, along with, let's say, I was also given some finance opportunities, but when Softbank came, it was like 1 week prior to when I was preparing that there will be an interview, and I will be speaking with some of the founders of the Softbank JV or the top management. I actually see it might be seeming like a big brand, right? That point of time, I actually gone through my basics of finance. What can they actually ask me regarding their business model? Regarding work experience, which I have right now. I was like right now focusing on what exactly their business model is, what they will be expecting from me. And that is how I was able to crack Softbank.
Dipti, I'll move to you. Cracking BCG is not a cakewalk. You need to do your prep. You need to understand the company better. You need to understand yourself better. What was the selection process like for you, and what kind of help that you got, and what was the one thing that you think clicked for you that made you crack BCG?
I think consulting generally is the top priority for a lot of students. So I think that was similar for our batch as well. And right from the beginning of this year, all of us got into the zone of preparing because we knew that we will have consulting companies coming up for internships. Though getting BCG was definitely a very big surprise for all of us, a pleasant one, of course. I think the shortlist came in 3 weeks prior to the final interviews, and there were 6 of us who got shortlisted. I think that's where the real, momentum kicked in to prepare very consistently now. I think I started off with a lot of momentum. I ensured that I'm at least doing, let's say, 2 cases a day where I'm actually sitting with someone across the table and I'm practicing my cases. I take out some time to, brush up my guesstimates, understand basics of businesses, like understanding the revenue streams of various business types, understanding what is the value chain of different businesses. And I think what really worked for me was, apart from practicing with my peers, who are the 6 people who got shortlisted, I also try to practice with folks who are currently in the industry. So I did a couple of interviews with consultants in McKinsey, consultants in BAIN. I also had my buddy from BCG with whom I did a couple of cases. So that really gave me the right feedback that I could work on. And that was the real reflection of what a final day interview would look like for me. So, and I think even during the interview process, we had the first day wherein we had 2 rounds, one with a project leader and one with a partner. I think what I realized was the actual interview cases are probably 1/5 of what you practice. They're very simple and they're very intuitive. But I think what really matters is how you keep it very conversational with the partner or the project leader, because at the end of the day, they're looking for someone who can be a part of their team, with whom they can work day in and day out. So I think what really matters is how conversational you keep it, how calm and composed you are. Because believe me, of all the cases, I had 2 from the finance sector, and I'm a noob when it comes to the finance sector. But I think understanding the basics of everything really helped me, at least because I could start a conversation. I could draw some parallels of what really happened in the industry in terms of the news. So
Right.
I think that really worked for me.
When you actually roped into Masters Union for doing your MBA, from that personality to now when you have cracked BCG and Softbank, how do you think you guys have changed professionally, and how do you think that learning that you have taken from this institute is going to help you ahead in your career, whatever roles that you land up to from here on?
So when I was like, for all the work experience guys who goes through the MBA, I find this very interesting. I was thinking about this. So it's like an offsite when you take from your regular offices, and when you go out and you at that point of time when you're working, it is like your leaders of the organization are giving you a vision. And similarly, this is like an offsite for me where I am deciding what exactly I want to learn. I am deciding what courses I want to go into. It is a great learning in terms of technology and business management, as the course stands for. But for me, it is like, how can we go into big data analytics, and how can you interpret data more insightful? And that is where this course comes in for me.
So I think for me, at least, what it has done for me is it has given me a holistic perspective of how to really look at a problem. I'm able to look at, okay, what is the effect of, let's say, the changes in the economy of the country? What is the effect of, let's say, the financial angle comes in? So I think it really gives me a holistic picture.
So keep on learning, and making an informed choice are the things that come up from Dipti and Varun, who have been placed to companies like BCG and Softbank. All the very best once again for both of you to have a great career ahead after this wonderful 2 years that you have spent in this P school. And this was a very fun conversation that I've had with you guys. And so that our audiences can make that informed decision that Varun mentioned, there is a link in the description where you can find more about Masters Union. If you like Masters Union, Go click that link, check out the courses that are available, talk to alumni members now like Dipti and Varun, and make a choice as to what suits the bill for you.